Is that the notification?
No, that was an alarm.
Okay. Just to let you to clue you in that we're coming up on time.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, stream has started.
Okay. Wait, is this just Phantasy Star?
This is 4.
Oh, I didn't. I must have not seen the 4.
Yeah. Phantasy Star proper is on the Master System.
Oh, okay.
So it's like one console generation before this. Hey, Justin.
Hello. I have to wait for the phone to catch up to us.
So we're gonna chill for the last like half hour of our stream and just play a game that only I like.
I mean, I like it well enough.
I'd played a little bit of this before, and I had that stupid song from that one town stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, you sang the song.
Yeah. And so on and so forth.
Wait, hold on. So
it's very catchy.
Are we starting over then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't have because we were playing that on some other emulator.
Oh, okay.
I forgot I have a fast forward button.
Look at that. Oh, and it's all old-timey VHS, too.
Yeah, right.
I like that.
I can also rewind.
Ooh. Wait, that's cheating!
I mean, only if you're a fucking scrub, which I am not.
Yeah, so you can straight up, like, die and then just rewind to the beginning of the battle and do it correctly?
I mean, you can already do that with save states.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, this collection gives you... like de facto save stating,
like I mean,
with the rewind.
All the collections do that now because like they recognize that certain games are not palatable anymore. You know, certainly for remember that rash of posts from like kids playing Metroid on the Virtual Console and being like, "How come Metroid can't crawl?"
Yes, yes, I do.
So not to sound like a video game boomer, but that's the kind of reason why they have the
okay, yeah.
the rewind button now.
All right, my stupid phone. Let me see if I can actually get on the stream.
Oh, so Yuka is at least like vaguely familiar with this game. This was actually one of the first LPs we ever did. Just FYI, guys.
Yeah,
we didn't beat it because like nobody gave a shit about it, so we moved on to other things.
Yeah,
this is one of my favorite games like ever, and I used that platform with nobody but your Australian friend who watched that one episode. Where I said something bad about Chrono Trigger.
Okay. Oh yeah.
He was like, I was waiting for you to lay into him, mate. And you didn't, and he was very disappointed about it.
Yeah. And
then because I was younger and stupider, there was that one episode where I went on a big old like rant about how like Aerith's death wasn't as good as people think it is. Because that's like edgy and subversive.
Yeah, don't say that around Yuka. It was the saddest sad for her that ever sadded. Why do they look like papyrus? Because, like, making sprites is hard.
Yeah. It is hard.
Yeah. And, it's RPG like Undertale. A friend told me that, and I die a little inside.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't like Undertale, but I mean, Undertale's like not even like a classic RPG.
Yeah, it is a unique beast.
Yeah. I actually kind of hate it when anybody says anything is like Undertale, because that's like insanely reductive. It also usually indicates a fundamental misunderstanding of what Undertale actually is. But whatever. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite RPGs. It's a very good like classic kind of game. You have party members and you go through dungeons and shit. It's got a cool like sci-fi aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Story's a bit trite, but I mean it's serviceable and it's just fun.
You can really see the influences that led to Phantasy Star Online. I say to trigger Alex.
I forget that you're one of those fantasy PSO fags.
Yeah, I play PSO and PSO 2.
More like piss-o.
Man, I'm actually gonna try Phantasy Star Online 2 again because it's getting the official Western release soonish.
Is it finally?
Yeah, finally. I was like, me and a bunch of people from the TeamSpeak era.
Yuka's defending her Eris attachment by saying that she's younger than us, and that was the first death she witnessed.
Yeah.
And to that I say, be older, Yuka. Like, come on.
That comes up all the time because all the stuff I saw in high school and thought, that's okay. Brittany was young and impressionable, so she's like, oh my god, it's like sparkle eyes, you know.
That used to happen a lot when I'd be talking to Amber about like random shit, like fucking like Quack Pack. I go, man, Quack Pack was fucking garbage, and she's like 3 years younger than us.
Yeah,
or younger than me, because I'm younger than you.
Yeah.
She's like 3 years younger than me, so she's like, what the fuck? Quack Pack was my childhood. You take that back. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was not. It never will be, no matter how much you pretend. And that's how our friendship ended. Until, like, the next day.
Botan's fave JRPGs are Wild Arms 2 and 3, and the Persona 1 and 2 duology. Classy move liking Persona 1 and 2, because for most people, Persona starts with 3.
Yeah, 3 is the Final Fantasy 7 of Personas. I actually really like all of the Wild Arms games, so kudos to you for having good taste. Was that Bowden you said?
Yeah, Bowden.
Yeah,
that was Bowden.
Yeah, that's super cool. Like, I adore the Wild Arms games. 2 is one of my favorites because, like, the main character gets, like, a Kamen Rider sort of transformation.
Yeah.
I didn't like 3 so much because 3 goes... The other games had, like, a... It was like, they had this cool blend of, like, being, like, a Western kind of thing, but also being, like, a fantasy JRPG kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the third one goes, like, full-on, like, Western, so everybody just has guns, like, for weapon wise.
Right.
And you have this whole system where, like, you've got to, like, conserve your bullets and shit, and... it lost some of the magic for me.
Right.
And apparently other people, because Wild Arms 4 goes back to having like kind of a fusion of like Western and JRPG stuff. And then like Wild Arms 5 had the main character have like a pair of guns that had like swords that would just pop out of the bottom. Like in a very impractical way. They would pop out of the hilts. And he would just like kind of swing them like sideways. It's one of my favorite series.
So we have a philosophical coming of age take here from Bowden, who says that being a kid is thinking Tifa and Eris, are the best girls, and adulthood is thinking that Yuffie is best girl.
I would actually argue the opposite.
Because you think kids are going to go, oh man, she's got a big ninja star and a headband, and I like cool.
Well, it's more like, in my experience, I found that when I was younger, I was more attracted, not necessarily like sexually, because when I was a really little kid, like I didn't have any concept of that.
Right.
But I gravitated towards the younger kid, towards the younger girls.
Oh, okay.
But then as I get older, I find myself liking the more mature-looking girls for obvious reasons.
Right.
The boobs. So, like...
You mean the personality?
That's what I meant. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Why aren't you listening to what I say?
Okay.
I said the boobs. They have great boobs. Fantastic character boobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Yuffie was my favorite when I was a kid.
Okay.
And then as an adult, she's like a creepily undressed 16-year-old.
Yeah, she's annoying and like... she's annoying and annoying and annoying.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Eris and Tifa aren't that much older, as I recall. But they are older. They don't act as young.
Yeah.
So it feels less creepy.
Right.
And it also leads to shit like I was playing, I think it was Rune Factory 2, and the Rune Factory games are like they're like Harvest Moon.
Yeah,
but
with
more
fighting.
Yeah, with more JRPG.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they have like they have like a thing where you can they have marriage mechanics, and so the game is like parading like all these like extremely young, extremely genki, like anime girls in front of me, and I was like, pass, and then they show me
Right.
like the blacksmith, I think it is, who's like a 20-something-year-old like adult woman, like fantastic rack, and I was like, oh shit, she looks hot.
Yeah.
She's not romanceable. Presumably because Japanese kids are like, ew, she's like 24.
Yeah. She's not in high school. I need my JK.
She pays her taxes.
Bowden says that he likes Phil Gaia the most since the Ocean of Sand concept was cool.
Phil Gaia is the world that Wild Arms are set.
Oh,
that
okay.
the Wild Arms games are set in. Just FYI.
Thank you.
And it's a cool concept. The games get progressively more like Western-y because like the system that's maintaining the world. I think they were like these like elven kind of like people, like, well, not like Tolkien elves, more like Keebler elves, like little tiny like elfin people who were like maintaining the planet. They all started dying, and then like demons happened, and like the like environment started breaking down and shit. And unlike most JRPGs, the Wild Arms games are mostly, I think, all set in the same timeline. So each game they don't deal with the same characters, but they're progressing farther and farther, so you're seeing the evolution of the world.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting sometimes actually. Like in Wild Arms 3, you can't buy healing items like you could in the previous two games.
Okay.
Because the previous two games use these berries as healing items. But by the time 3 has happened, like the whole world is pretty much a wasteland. Mm-hmm. So berries don't grow anymore.
Right.
Like naturally. Like they're not abundant.
Yeah.
You can find a special place in the world
where the berries grow.
Well, yeah, and so you can take the berries you find in like chests and stuff, and you can plant them in that garden, and you can like slowly that's how you get that's how you replenish your stock of berries. But
Okay.
yeah, stuff like that's pretty interesting. But I just didn't find the game all that fun compared to the other games. Music's great though. Like I would rather play that than like any like bad RPG. Certainly, it's just not my favorite Wild Arms game.
Freaking...
I feel like I went on a little too long on
No. Crows is back because apparently her stream bugged.
Oh.
Well,
Good. Kairos missed the part where I revealed how old I am.
Right. Crows, how...
I voted for Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
How was Bloodborne and what weapon was selected? Or which weapons were tried?
And why was it the threaded cane?
Yeah.
Go on, be honest.
Yeah, okay. Crows, threaded cane, okay? Best weapon of the year or best weapon of the decade?
Right.
You know, what do you think?
Best weapon ever or best weapon of all time?
Yeah.
Wasting time, ask the hard questions.
Oh, wait, hold on. My phone is like...
Your phone always bugs out at the worst possible time.
Seriously. Like, it's getting old, but I'm holding on like a boomer.
It's like, do you even phone?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, right. Yeah, Ben was using the burial blade.
Oh, there you go. I forgot, because he had the cool chalice thing.
Yeah. I am young and hip, Kairos. I don't know what Yuki's talking about. Like, I'm down with the kids, y'all.
Yeah.
Hashtag blessed.
No, I'm cool. Like, I'm secure in my agealinity. Wait, what's a good way to
Ageality.
like mix?
Well, that sounds like fatality.
What's a good way to mix masculinity and age? Like,
Madge. Message.
Yeah, I'm secure in my age. Fucking, I'm 36. That's my age.
I'm 33. So I'm not the oldest here.
He's not the oldest here.
I'm still young.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the metric I'm using is that if they still want to ID me, like if I want to buy alcohol or whatever.
Nobody IDs you.
Yeah, they totally do. Because people look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're like I apparently give off a 20-something."
I think that's at least partially because of the My Little Pony shirt you tend to wear.
Yeah. But let's see. Ben is younger than us, and and Crows is younger than him.
Well, fantastic.
All right.
We had a bunch of kids in our stream. Get off my stream. That sounded weird.
Bowton says, I'm a unga big stick in Souls games.
What?
I guess he likes to be the caveman with the big club and fat roll or something.
I mean, yeah, alright. The club is a very popular weapon.
Yeah. The club is a damn good weapon.
I wish I could join the club, but I've never quite measured up.
The club.
Yeah, the club. That's like when you sit around and you eat club sandwiches and you like talk about them.
Yeah.
That's my take on things.
Like if it was
my hot take. Hashtag Alex's hot take. Does that trend?
Justin says he goes for axes in all Souls games.
Really?
Does Bloodborne, are you counting Bloodborne as a Souls-in type of deal?
How does that work with Sekiro?
I didn't voice Sekiro like at all. Is there no axe?
There's an attachment for your arm where you can use it as an axe.
Okay.
But it has ammo, so you can't use it as your primary weapon.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Bowton says Y in 1, Chicken Drum in 2, and Astoria Greatsword / Fume Knight Sword.
I love the Fume Knight Sword, but it's gonna be like the last weapon you get because Fume Knight's like the hardest boss in the game. They did a they collected data and they found out that Fume Knight was the boss that most people died to.
Okay, so Justin's a purist and does not consider Bloodborne and Sekiro Souls games.
Alright, I mean that makes sense.
I mean, they're... do you subscribe to the whole Soulsian genre, like, subcategory thing?
What are you trying to say?
No, because you know how people will say, like, this game... If it's not like a Souls game in name, they say, oh, it's Soulsian.
Well, they call it Soulsborne now.
Oh, okay.
That's what people use to refer to the series, like as a whole. Just to include like Sekiro and
right.
And,
but I mean, you know how people will say a game is Souls-like or Soulsian, like Salt and Sanctuary, or that kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, most of the time people say that because like the game is clearly trying to ape Soul.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. Like, Justin, do you consider games to be Soulsian, or are you just like, nope, not a Souls, I am my pure Aryan Souls race?
You have to phrase it like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Gwimax in 2 is pretty godlike, says Bowton.
Huh.
And yeah, Yuka just said it was Soulsborne.
I mean, that's the general. I mean, that doesn't take Sekiro into account.
Yeah, as an old ass boomer, who I'd probably mention this, but as an old ass boomer who played Metroid and Castlevania when they were released, I get personally annoyed that Metroidvania is a thing when Castlevania didn't do anything to actually add to the formula, it just popularized it. What you mean is it's a Metroid game. Castlevania just copied Metroid.
I think you mean made it better.
But yeah.
I mean, come on, Evan. Castlevania, like Metroid would not be what it is if Castlevania didn't step in and make it good.
I mean, I don't know. Like, fucking...
The Metroid that is not like Castlevania is Metroid Other M.
Well, and, I mean, Prime is a whole thing.
Argument 1.
I mean, Prime might be the best one. And it's super duper, unique.
Uniquely bad.
No, it's so good, man.
Oh,
you gotta try that shit. That's when I realized that... I think when I played Metroid Prime, those games, is when, for me, I decided I no longer liked an analog stick for aiming a first-person weapon. Or just for aiming in general.
Because you're a scrub?
No, because mouse is just better for aiming. And you just use the Wiimote to point at the screen, and it works just like a mouse, and it was hella accurate. Like,
see, Evan, if I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean to sell my dagger.
Yeah! So good. So good. I like it.
It just cracks me up. I love the scan lines and everything. It's so funny.
Yeah, actually, that makes for really good... You know, you could pretend it's editing, right? You're just like, oh shit, I fucked up, hang on.
Add in, like, the record scratch.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. How did I get here, you ask?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you.
Oh, God. Pretty much. Let's see. Let's see, Botan says his favorite run he did was... in 2 was playing as the old axe armor from Castlevania.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Are we talking about Dark Souls?
Yeah, I believe Dark Souls 2.
Because, oh, I didn't know you could quick load or quick save with the analog stick.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of nifty. Whenever I think of the old axe armor, I always think of Symphony of the Night. Because you could put in a code that lets you play as the old axe armor for the entire game, and it really sucked. Or I think it gave you like a piece of equipment or something that turned you into the old axe armor when you equipped it. There's something like that in Bloodstained too.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, Justin's... Yeah, so he recognizes Souls-like, but Bloodborne is not a Souls game. Says the only reason why Demon Souls is a Souls game is because Miyazaki couldn't use the name since it's owned by Sony.
Dark Souls still has a lot of, like, thematic similarities, and also, like, the obvious gameplay ones.
Yeah.
To Demon Souls. It's not like, comparing Mario to Sonic. It's like comparing, like, Sonic to, like, Sonic 4.
Yeah. I mean, I primarily just use Dark Souls as like a colloquialism to say shit's really hard.
Well, you're the problem.
Like it's just convenient to be like, oh, it's the Dark Souls of pudding or whatever. You know.
But Dark Souls has a very specific, like, deliberate kind of difficulty.
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, even when people are not using it as a joke, and people are like, oh, this fucking new game, it's so hard, it's like Dark Souls. Like, no, it's usually not.
Yeah.
I got really mad the other day. I was trying to explain to a friend, like, why I didn't like Code Vein. And they were just like, but you like Dark Souls games, right? Like,
yeah.
It's not like Dark Souls.
Yeah,
because Dark Souls is well designed and Code Vein is not.
If I cared, like, if I had infinite time on my hands and if I cared, I would properly categorize, I would make a proper reference for the type of difficult it is. So if something's tedious and repetitive, I might say, like, oh, it's the I want to be the guy of this. And then if it was difficult in the Dark Souls, I'd be like, it's the Dark Souls. But, like, ain't nobody got time for that. So I just use Dark Souls as, like, the catch-all, because memes.
I mean, that's a whole other issue that we've gotten to a point where, like, we need to reduce things.
Yeah.
To be palatable for people.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
But, yeah, the Dark Souls of X is... Yeah, that's essentially how I do it. I'm just like, eh. Because people know what you mean. It's a shortcut to get people to get your meaning. You know, I could say, like, oh, it's got a it's very atmospheric and, you know, a little unforgiving, but it's blah blah blah. And or I could just be like, it's like the Dark Souls of that thing you do.
I mean, yeah. Although I get annoyed whenever somebody describes something to me as like it's like X with Y.
Yeah.
Especially if it goes beyond that. It's basically Zelda meets, you know, Street Fighter 2, but with like, you know, stuff from like Mario Brothers, and it's like once you've gone to the third thing, it no longer resembles any of those
Right.
things. But I've seen that. I've seen people have done that to me, you know, without a hint of irony, and it always drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't mean the boomer there.
No, it's fine. Like, I don't mind boomering. I say I'll embrace my nature.
I'm not a boomer.
Yeah, like anyone. For me, I think the rubric is anyone that can't afford a fucking house is not a boomer.
I think the rubric is if you use the word rubric.
Oh, then you're a boomer. Okay. If you're, you know, if you think that you can just work hard and save up to start a family, then you're probably a boomer.
Man, I can't afford to buy a family
Yeah,
from my
seriously.
salary. Nobody will even sell me a family.
Like, just the most I could get is a mail order bride and pretend it's a family.
Can I buy your brother? I've always wanted a brother.
Yeah, I mean,
He seems alright.
yeah, but
Even if he wanted us to do reaction videos.
but the thing, yeah, I mean, he did want to do that, but he would continually tell you that Dark Orb is for scrubs. So,
And I tell him to shut the fuck up.
like every time I bring up Dark Souls 2, he's like, "OMG, Hex was cancer."
Maybe he's talking about hexadecimal from, you know, reboots.
Yeah, yeah,
Did you
yeah.
ever think about that? Did you ever think about that? Maybe you should shut the fuck up, Evan's brother.
Let's see. Oh yeah, no. Boaton mentioned earlier this game Darkwood we should look at. Here we go.
I think we played Darkwood.
Did we? Oh wait, is that the one where?
I think that's the one we played on Halloween, where it's got like the tower. It's like the top-down game. It's got like the tower defense elements.
Oh, you wake up and the guy was experimenting on you.
Yeah, that one.
And it keeps going Silent Hill and then normal. Okay, yeah, I think we might have. He said it's
I think that's Darkwood.
in great X plus Y fashion. He says Darkwood is Polish Hotline Miami with tree stuff.
I mean, that sounds like Darkwood, yeah.
Are you fast forwarding?
Yes.
Oh, you triggering a battle?
This is the bit. This is the bit like the beginning of Breath of Fire 2, where you need to spend a couple of. I need to spend like. I mean, we're gonna wrap it up right now, but
Yeah.
This is the part where you need to spend like 5 minutes taking advantage of like the really easy grinding here just to make some money, so you can buy some fucking weapons.
Oh, okay.
Because that makes the. It's like the one point in the game where you have to grind. Because they give you Rune, who's like 10 levels higher than the rest of your guys, and he's got like a kajillion magic points, and he can easily like one-shot every single like enemy group in this cave. So you just walk back and forth, and you murder shit with Rune until you get like 2,000 monies, which I always have, and then you have enough to get all the shit you want.
Justin thinks that Dark Orb is a bit visually boring, and I tend to agree.
You're visually bored.
Like, I would like some because it really is just sort of a black circle that goes. Maybe some particle effect, like a misty kind of thing around it, or leave a trail, or
Well, Justin is visually boring, and I tend to agree.
It's like your mom is visually boring.
I wouldn't say that. I'm sure she's a lovely person.
Yeah, right.
I can't use your mom jokes on my friends, especially if I've like met their moms, because I feel bad. Like, I love Frank's mom. She's been a part of my life for like 15 years or something.
He says "Dead Again" is the coolest hex in the game.
I've never used any hex other than
Dark Orb.
Dark Orb. I've used Dark Weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you used Dark Weapon.
Yeah, I used Dark Weapon, and I tried the Dark Greatsword attack, which is where like you make like a greatsword out of dark energy, and you slash people with it.
Oh.
And that one I use solely because it's cool.
Yeah. Because summoning weapons are awesome.
Right.
And what's the name of... You remember the name of the hex that shoots 4 skulls that home in?
Oh, fuck. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I know which one he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I just did, like, Dark Orb is so good that there's no reason to use any other ones. Like, it does everything you need it to do. It's really fast and it's really strong, and you get like 20 fucking casts per scroll, and you can find like 3 scrolls in the game.
Oh,
like,
apparently Dead Again
insane.
is a corpse bomb.
Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, I remember that one.
Yeah, it could be handy. There are some corpses in that game.
So, we're gonna wrap up, but I want to show the one fun part. Also, I just want to sit here for a second and let everyone appreciate the music that drove Evan insane.
Oh, yeah!
I'm gonna drop the volume really
I dig it.
briefly.
No, I love this theme. Like, it's so peppy. It's so happy.
Yeah, I know this sucks.
These owl people, like, need to take off their hoods sometimes.
They're actually rat people.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I could have sworn they had a beak.
It was they do. It's more it's more obvious in the original game.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of like Jawas. But yeah, I wanted to show this bit because to progress past this part, you need to go find this guy. Oh, also I like talking to.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, there's no hood there.
Yeah, well, because he's gonna join me. But you got to talk to this guy, and he'll ask you different questions because he's an information monger.
That really looks like a beak and feathers. It might just be me.
They're rat people.
Okay.
The design's a bit different here in 4, but traditionally they're like rat people.
Okay.
I think they even show up in. I think I was even told they show up in like the onlines at some point.
Huh.
But so he's an information broker, so he has a bunch of like questions that he's willing to tell you about. Like you can ask him about the secret of refining titanium, and he'll actually answer these questions, or he'll give you an answer. If you ask him about the secret, he's like, "Fuck you. That's our that's our secret trade.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you shit." So you say no, and he asks, "You want to know why the path to the blocked by a rock?" If you say yes to this one, he just says, "Well, because there's a fucking wizard, and we needed to, keep him from getting us."
Okay.
But the question we're looking for is, do you want to know the measurements of that chick who's currently talking to me?
Oh, yes, please.
And so we asked for the measurements.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, said girl is actually talking to him.
Oh.
I love that. That's the best part of the game. And only then does he realize that she's right there. I fucking love this game. He will not tell you the secret of making titanium, but he will tell you the size of the groups. I don't even know how he has that information. So that's Vantage Dark 4. So, I don't know. I love this game.
Yeah.
I might start playing this like just as a vehicle for us to talk about shit.
Yeah.
After I'm done with Saga Frontier. I don't think it's intentional, but they also straight out say like at this stage in the game you can't beat Zio. Like, I'm pretty sure they're not using the game like in the literal sense, but some people have taken it to be like a fourth wall breaking thing. Anyway, we are done for the night, guys. Thank you for putting up with my indulgences.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for indulging me. We will see you guys next week.
Next week.
Next week.
It was fun. Thank you for joining us. Come on back.
Come on back. Especially K-Rose, who keeps going off and doing her own thing.
Yeah.
See you guys later.